All righty. Okay, I think we're live. Hi, Lakeisha.
Hi, Chandra.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you
That's
for
good news.
being here with me today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us live. Let us know when you do join us live. I'm actually going to pull up my phone and make sure we are all good and we are showing up. Usually we are. I just like to make sure because you never know. Make sure we're all good. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to hold it open for any questions because I can never see questions on here. But hello, everybody. I'm Chandra Brooks, founder of the Powerhouse Academy and Powerhouse Women. Today, we are interviewing one of my amazing clients, Lakiesha McDonald. She is a graduate of the Powerhouse Academy and runs a coaching and consulting business. It's called LRM Growth Solutions, correct? I got it right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I
That's
have so
correct.
many clients. I got to make sure I know what I'm saying at all times.
Oh,
I got
the
this.
problems.
You make fun of me. I have too many clients. I can't even handle all of them. It's just too much. I know. Poor me. Poor me. You're funny. But thank you for doing this interview with me. You are an amazing client. You have been from the beginning. You've done all the work. You did everything I told you to do, and you were consistent, and the results showed up. Right. So let's talk
Absolutely.
about like how you found me, that whole journey, because it was a journey. Right.
It
Let's talk.
was. It was indeed. You know, it's interesting. I don't think it's really too different how I found you from probably most of your clients.
Yeah.
I was following somebody who's a mutual friend of ours, and periodically your stuff would pop up. Um, I had been considering probably for a good year getting some type of business coach or some type of consultation because I was trying to start my business, which was a professional development, providing career services primarily to college students. And I just wanted to be better at offering those services initially. And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, it branched out into me wanting to be to do it more independently. So I was following you on social media, and I think that I reached out to you a year prior
Yeah.
to us
Mm-hmm.
actually connecting.
Yeah.
So I reached out to you. We had our phone call. Um, at the time, I wasn't quite ready
Yeah.
for a few different reasons. And then I think a year later, we're heading into, it was right before we were heading into the pandemic, and I had been experiencing a great deal of success, but it was me traveling a lot, doing a lot of public speaking. It was more motivational, still career centered, but
Mm-hmm.
more motivational. And then of
Yeah.
course we hit this moment of the pandemic,
Yeah.
and of course my business changed. And I just remember laying in bed one night and being like really bummed out, like really, really bummed out because LRM Growth Solutions was doing so great. And I was thinking, what am I going to do now? How am I going to still be an entrepreneur? Because that really was what my dream was.
Right.
Um, I got an email that night from someone saying, are you still going to be doing maybe a virtual session of uh, a workshop that I had done called Winning is a Mentality?
Mm-hmm.
And I responded back to that person. I said, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I laid back down, and about an hour later, I woke back up, and the whole concept of the Win Mentality Boot Camp, I think I wrote it out within an hour, and I reached out to you maybe 2 days later.
Oh wow, I
And
didn't know that
that's,
part. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yes.
reached out to me and you were still just contemplating how you were going to do this, right? Because of the investment.
I don't think that I had come to the full conclusion that
Mm-hmm.
many people who are trying to start something new, I think one of the things that's most difficult for us to realize is that sometimes we've taken ourselves as
Yeah.
far as we can go with what we know. And I
Right.
think I was still thinking that if I got just a few pointers or just a few tips from our telephone call, that I'd be able to go ahead and take that and run. And and that wasn't the case, because I found myself right back where I started.
Yes.
And I think that was the confirmation that not only would I be better service to the student population that I was serving, but
Mm-hmm.
also for my independent journey to becoming an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people think that. They're like, let me just do one session with Chandra. And I'm just thinking my experience of people that have came to me to do one session
Yeah,
and they're not doing anything right now, unfortunately, because
yeah,
it takes consistency and it's a process. right?
And sacrifices, it
Yeah,
takes a certain level of sacrifice to determine that, you're going to kind of stray away from what everyone else is doing and
right,
to do your own thing. And there's only
right.
a few people, when you think about it, in your circle that probably are doing that, if even that many.
If that,
So,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know anybody that does what I do in my circle, right? That are doing
right.
exactly what I do, especially in the online world. So it's
Hmm.
very few and far between that you have somebody who can teach you how to do the things that you want to do, right? That can coach you
Right.
and
Absolutely.
to get you there. So tell people what you do, because we didn't even talk about what you do, like your business, your programs, your services. Tell them everything.
So initially, my goal was to change the thought process, how we think about our careers. I
Hmm.
think we've been conditioned for so many years to believe that we have to have this monotony type of life when it comes to working. We wake up, we go to work.
Hmm.
Oftentimes we are, giving everyone, our best ideas, our most creative ideas. We're giving our time. Some people are giving 40 hours a week while others are 50 and 60. And we're often being undervalued.
Yeah.
If you're not in the right circle or the right crowd, you're being passed up for promotions. I don't think that we realize that after maybe 3 to 5 years that technically you can consider yourself an expert if you've been doing the same thing
Hmm.
every day. And so I was one of those people. And I
Hmm.
remember pulling up one day at a job that it just wasn't doing anything. It added zero value, and saying, I can't do this anymore.
Hmm.
And I took a chance on myself and I said, you know what? I'm going to leave this job.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to work in education. I knew that I wanted to work with the population of community college students. It always intrigued me, and I always thought I had something to offer to that
Yeah.
population. Um, as I begin to do my job search, I start realizing that I didn't have the qualifications, and that I would basically
Mm.
have to start from scratch. And in starting from scratch, I would have a huge pay cut. So I sat on the fence for another year.
Hmm.
And then one day I came to that place where I said, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And I'll just have to adopt the idea that this is my destination when it comes to my career.
Hmm.
That's when I decided to start from scratch. The whole concept of LRM Grow Solutions was to share my journey with other people as
Mm.
something very simple, to just be a word of encouragement, to say that I know it feels like you think this is where your destination is, or this is
Right.
the best that you can do career wise. But let me just give you this idea. And I have this game plan and this blueprint from what I did. And I
Hmm.
love what I do now. And it's allowed me to do other things. And so what I started doing was creating trainings and workshops that centered around creating writing effective resumes and cover
Wow.
letters, and how to effectively articulate who you were in interviews, and to build this sense of confidence, and to change the way that people thought. And it
Hmm.
took off. And so that's what LRM Grow Solutions was. And of course, like I said, when the pandemic happened, I thought, how can I continue to do these services? The
Hmm.
Womentality Boot Camp was just, let me come in virtually. And at first I
Hmm.
was just doing one-on-one. And what we would do is we would start with the way that we thought. Then we would transition into, what are your career goals? And, I always ask my clients, go back to that day when you were excited about starting a career. Go all the way
Hmm.
back to there, so that you can connect to something that is purposeful and passion. And so we help to identify those career goals. We come up with a strategy, a blueprint, a plan that's often designed specifically for the individual, because I think that oftentimes with these type of trainings and workshops, they're so cookie cutter. But I like to get
Hmm.
to know my clients, and I like to get to know, listen, how do you work? How are you
Hmm.
motivated? How can I
Hmm.
best get you to be your very best all the time when I ask you to do something? So
Hmm.
we do that. From there, I've had wonderful results. My clients are
Yeah.
getting hired.
And
They're getting hired.
usually our businesses come from personal experience, right? Or
Yeah.
things.
Hmm.
There's always a backstory to every business. What I've
Yeah.
realized working with so many women that I've coached, there's always a purpose. There's always a reason of why you do what you do behind the scenes, right? That nobody really knows about that backstory. It's personal why you do
Right.
this, right? And you've been able
Right.
to create programs and duplicate what you've done at your school at MJC, right?
Hmm.
That's
Yes.
what you were college. You've been able to create a program that is now being asked to go to different colleges, right? You're bringing that
Yes.
same program to different community colleges. And I think that's one thing that we learned and that we worked on together. It's like, girl, you can
Yes.
duplicate this in other places. Go tell them what you have. Tell them what you have to offer, and I bet
Yeah.
they want it too, right? If MJC wants it, other places are going to want it. So being able to do the reach outs, being visible. Tell me what you learned by going through coaching and through the Powerhouse Academy.
I mean, you just kind of said, one of the things is that, first, I was able to really lay a different type of foundation than I had been able to lay before. Um, it's based on a lot of facts of what works,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Instead of ideas, I've been able to, actually take plans and create and bring them to fruition,
Mm-hmm.
by using the blueprint that you provided for my cohort, for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so not only that, I think the greatest thing for me was just the confidence, because
Yeah.
I think that once a person is able to take hold of the belief, not just the cliche, I can do anything, you
Yeah.
know, once it becomes an internalized feeling, you stop feeling like you're chasing the dollar, and you're more chasing the purpose and the goal. And what I've
Mm.
learned is that when you're chasing the dollar, that's very exhausting. But when you're
Yeah.
chasing the purpose and the goal, you can run forever.
Yes. Oh my God.
So for,
That
so for
is
me,
it right there. Yeah.
that's what I needed. I needed that from the powerhouse
Mm-hmm.
to be surrounded with other people who were like-minded, so I didn't feel so alone, to be able to ask
Yeah.
questions, and then to be able to really execute plans like effectively, where if it doesn't work the first time, I can call you. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm always in Messenger like, Chandra, guess what? Or Chandra, this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just having that it's everything to me. It's everything to
Yeah.
my business.
Yeah. Having that, sorry, my eyelashes bothering me, but just having that support, right? Having somebody
Yes.
to message and say, what do you think about this? Let's tweak that during the time that we were
Right.
coaching together, right? During the Powerhouse Academy. But even
Yeah.
after, and when I tell all my clients is like, once I'm your coach, I'm always your coach. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're paying me or not. You can always message me and ask me a question. I don't just cut you off. I mean, I ain't going to sit with you and coach you for hours upon hours, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm always your
absolutely.
coach, and I'm always there to provide you support and guidance.
And
But
can I just emphasize something
yeah,
really quick about that before we
yeah,
move on to,
hmm
you know, um, you'll hear a lot of people that are kind of like, what do I need a coach for? Why do I need to pay someone, this much money? Why do I need to do this, or why do I need to do that? And I just want
yeah,
to make it really, really clear that when you connect with somebody who wants you to win as much as you want to win, and it's in every phone call, it's in every training, um that's what
mm,
that's what you do. That's what Chandra does. That's what you do. And I think that that's what's going to be the forever distinction between Powerhouse, um
thank you.
and other companies, is because you build relationship, or else I don't that's been my experience, is that we build relationship. How I think.
Yeah,
When I'm going to be hesitant, um when we talked in the very beginning, I'm like, I don't want to post. I don't want to post. I don't like posting. I don't like social media, right? So
then
you
I
know how
couldn't
to.
get you off.
Now you can't get me off. But it's like that person who knows how to
Right.
push, when to push, how much to push.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
that's definitely what I get from you. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I need clients that are going to meet me halfway. I need clients
Yeah.
who are going to do the work, right? And but that's my job, is to push you even when you're scared, and say and
Hmm.
hold you accountable. All my clients know that I will ride you, right? And I'll be like, "Oh, where you at? How come you ain't showing up? I don't see your
Yes.
post. Like, what's going on?" And I want you on every call. I want you to be there. It's just so important, right? So this is my
Hmm.
passion, and this is why I do what I do, because I do want everybody to win. I have no competition. None of my clients have been my competition. There's nobody
Right.
in the atmosphere of coaching or anywhere that are my competition. I just stay in my own lane, and I make sure I
Yeah.
serve at a high level. And your success is my success, right? I want to make sure you're constantly winning, and seeing your greatness before you do, right? I think that's my gift. I see the vision before you even see it, right? When we were creating the new stuff that you were going to be doing, and even your visibility. I mean, you did the business stuff, but then your
Right.
visibility started blowing up in it's Stanislaus County, right? Is it the county?
Yes.
Yeah, in that
Yeah.
county, your visibility,
Yeah.
you're being asked to come speak here. They want you to be the MC at Juneteenth. I mean, you're just
Yeah.
visibility blowing up. They want you to do this, a voiceover. I mean, you just were getting opportunity upon opportunity because
Yeah.
of your actions, your visibilities, your reach outs, and the things that you've learned in the Powerhouse Academy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So talk
Yeah.
about
I
like
mean,
your
I give you
podcast
credit.
and all those opportunities that came about.
The wonderful thing is that, and this is why I love so much being a part of Powerhouse. So, it's interesting because I would have, all these conversations. I would be out and about and I would have these really amazing conversations with people. And this is kind of how the Key Hive, which is my podcast, started. And you would come back, you would get something that was really significant or that changed your life or your perspective on something. And then you would come back and you would try to tell people, I met this woman and she was really this or she was that. And people would be like, oh, that's so great. But they couldn't really get it because they weren't a part of the conversation. Mm-hmm. And so what I wanted to do when I started the Key Hive was that I wanted to introduce to other women who would normally never connect under normal circumstances. Mm-hmm. And because I really believe that we have so much more in common than we think. And right. Oftentimes, because women are conditioned to introduce ourselves on such a superficial level at times, that we miss those authentic connections that could really bring us together to do some powerful work. And that's what the whole concept behind the Key Hive was like, I wanted people to know I met this amazing woman and she's powerful and she's kind of, ordinary when you think about it, but she's doing some extraordinary things. Yeah. And it could line up with what you're doing. And I want y'all to meet. And so I wanted to do it on a bigger level. And then again, I got this mouthpiece. So I love to talk.
Hey, I remember having you on my first coaching call. I thought Lakiesha was going to take over my whole call. And not in a good way, though. I was like, oh, she's dynamic. She's going to be an amazing coach. I can't wait until she launches this program and we really kick it off because you're just a natural. So I knew then. I was like, when she starts her coaching program, her clients are going to love her. She's going to ignite them. She's going to build their confidence and they're going to be successful. I already knew it when I seen it on our first coaching call. I don't know if I ever told you this. I was like, dang.
Oh, no, you didn't, but thank you. That's super kind.
Your light is bright. I mean, when you show up, you show up. And this is what's going to continue to help you with your success. It's like, just be you. And once we figure that out, right, just be us. People are going to love us for us. The people that don't like our shine, don't like our light, don't like the way we talk or what we do, then they can move on and go work with somebody else. People are going to be attracted to you for who you naturally are. We don't have to come online and pretend we're something else or that we don't, that we have to be proper. And, like sometimes both of us come on live with a hat or just chilling, right? Just in regular clothes and just who we are, right? It's not always glammed up, makeup and stuff like that. We just be us. Be you. Your clients are going to love you. And you've had a lot of clients come through your Win Mentality Bootcamp. Talk about that, like some wins from some of your clients.
I think what the favorite are, the ones who have been on their jobs for so long and they've not experienced any type of a promotion and they're still making the same amount of money, and to reintroduce them to what it looks like to put yourself back out there. I've had a couple of counselors that have been hadn't been tenure prior to working with me, and they had been at their community colleges for like a lot of years, and they kept applying to be tenure and they kept applying to be permanent, and it wasn't happening. I've had 4 counselors, and I'm actually going to be posting the 4th one, who is a win. I'm going to post that little testimony yesterday because last week it popped up on Facebook that she is now a counselor at a particular school that she's been wanting to be a counselor at. That happens frequently. And, I say this all the time. I should post more. I'm starting to get into that level of being comfortable enough to not to feel like I'm bragging or I'm boasting or like I'm a miracle worker.
Oh, you should know better already. You should know better than that already. You're a powerhouse. Yeah, come on now.
I'm like on that. I'm about to get on that next level with that.
Yes,
I promise. But
it's I don't care. Obviously. No.
Yeah. Or, helping someone to take a side hustle and, give them some pointers. I have a young lady who was doing she used to make these amazing brunch boxes and wasn't selling them.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking, I asked her, have you thought about monetizing this? And one day she reached out and we were able to really come up with a great business plan, and it's changed her. She has supplemental income now.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming through the Win Mentality boot camps, one of the things that you get from me is, first, I want you to win,
Mm-hmm.
period. Like,
Yeah.
I mean that
What it
genuinely.
stands for. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I want you, if you have the possibility to surpass me,
Yeah.
do it. Just tag me on it so
Mm-hmm.
you can give me a little bit of Keish
Credit.
was there on the
Uh-huh.
journey type
Right.
thing. But even with that, just having the ability to tap into people's greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for me, that's what it was all about. I never thought about it as something that I was going to do as a business, but then it just became like, yeah, like, this is your calling.
Mm.
Like, you have the ability to motivate, and that's what the Women Mentality boot camps have been doing. I've met with
Yeah.
hundreds of students, and we've been able to, effectively get them thinking differently about what success means to them. Because I say this often, I write it in my post all the time:
Mm-hmm.
success is accessible to us all, but it's not guaranteed.
That's
You
right.
know, but
That's
for
right.
that person who's willing to do the work,
Yeah, you gotta
right?
do the work. Exactly.
Yeah. So my
Success is a
student
choice,
success,
right? Success is a
yes,
choice.
success
Yes.
is a choice. So
Yes.
we're launching the student success employability skills training, which is getting great traction. People are loving it right now, because
Yes.
I think that we have to stop doing our students such a disservice by allowing them to believe that the degree gets you the job, when in
Mm.
fact, if you do not know how to articulate who you are, you will fall in the wayside the same way that a person who didn't spend 2 and 4 years in
Yeah.
college. So
Right.
when we don't teach them early intervention career empowerment trainings, we have students that are graduating, they're in debt already. So my passion is to make sure that you can get out there and throw your hat competitively into the job market. And
Yes.
then we're coming up in the next couple of months, where we're going to be doing the Win Mentality executive and corporate team building and leadership trainings, because we know that happy employees will give you their very best. And
Yes.
we also know how important it is to be able to find talent from within. And unfortunately, management and some of your management, they just don't know how to do that yet. But
Mm.
I've got a program that's going to come through, and we're really going to take it to another level for our corporate and our executive level individuals who are looking to take their businesses to the next level by hiring the very best
Wow.
employees.
Now, so since your business has expanded, and
Yes,
expanded because of your visibility, because of learning how to just
absolutely.
reach out and make and build relationships on LinkedIn in the online world and just in general, right? How to build
Yeah.
relationships and how to tell more people about what you do, because the more you tell them, like, then they know you're there to offer them
Right,
those services, right? If
right.
they don't know you're there, then they're not going to hire you and bring you on board. But you've
Absolutely.
been able to see the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your labor about marketing yourself, right? About putting
Yeah.
yourself out there. And I just want you to talk to people out there that are on the fence about hiring a coach, right? And getting the outside help they need to create that dream, create that business, that coaching, consulting business that they want to build, on why it's important to have somebody by your side giving you the strategy and the skill. We all think that we can do it ourselves. Like you said,
Right.
you thought you can do it yourself too, but you realize, oh, I'm still in the same scenario that I'm in
Right.
right now. I've been able to build it this far, but just like with any glass ceiling, sometimes we have to be able to break it to go to the next level and to do the things that we need to do in order to get to that next level. I knew for me, it was coaching. I've always
Yeah.
been talented, right? I've always been talented. I always excelled in every job that I had. But I knew I needed a coach to help me build this vision, these ideas, and this talent that I had inside of me to create it
Hmm.
into something. And you need that outside help and that outside perspective. Can you just talk to people that might be on the fence, thinking about, hiring a coach?
I think that really the truth is, more than anything, why people are so hesitant to hire is the investment that comes along with that.
Yeah.
It's also a certain level of accountability. But I think that more than anything, people are inclined to believe that, you know, I don't want to offend anybody, but I might. But we have to get out of this poor man mentality,
Mm,
thinking that We can, if it's your child and they have the potential of being a better football player, if they work with coach so-and-so and coach so-and-so is $250, $500 a month, we'll make that sacrifice. Then we don't really make that sacrifice for ourselves so that we can leave these achievement and wealth legacies for our children.
Amen.
To be great. My main motivation was, I give this kind of like this scenario where it's like you're standing at, the blackjack table. And you're looking at the game and it's an exciting game, but it means nothing to you.
Right.
And as soon as you put your chips on that table, your whole perspective changes because now you're invested. And the goal is to either break even, right? Or to win big.
Yes.
Because now you're invested.
Yes.
And we oftentimes will not put our money on us. And because of that, we're not invested in anything. So I would strongly say that if you're on the fence, really have an honest conversation with yourself and ask yourself, what are your goals? But more importantly, what is it going to take in order to get there? And what are you willing to sacrifice? Because I've been there where I'm saying ground beef for gas. Right? Yeah. But I'm also a testament to that clearly was the sacrifice that needed to happen at that moment and in that season in my life. And so when you have to make these big life-changing choices of should I get a coach, because it is a life-changing choice, by the way. It is. Should I get a coach or should I not get a coach? Man, invest in yourself. Take yourself to the next level the same way that you would for someone else.
I'm glad you used that example because especially as moms and as women, we put everybody else before ourselves, right? And once I realized that I was the hottest commodity in my family, I did, right? I'm like, everybody needs to invest in me because if nobody else is willing to do nothing big, I'm willing to do the big stuff. Okay. And let's put the money behind me. We got resources, let's put the money behind me. And that's how I had to build my confidence, with my own coaches to believe that I had something great. Right. And what if I didn't do that? What if I didn't build my confidence to get to a point to where I'm said, I'm going to invest $10,000. I'm going to invest $15,000. I'm going to invest $20,000 in this. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You wouldn't be where you're at today. Now you have extra income coming in, right? Helping, and you're able to help other people. You're able to do other things and bless other people because you took a chance on yourself. And anything that we're not invested in, we're not going to put the time in. Right? Because think about it. Whenever we sign up for a free conference or a free service, we don't go. If we don't go, we're like kind of like, oh, it's okay. It was free. I didn't go.
Right.
But if we put money into something, right, then we're like, oh, I'm gonna show up. And I'm gonna be at every meeting.
I can always tell the people who paid for my trainings, or if it was paid for by somebody else. The people who paid for my trainings come with a notepad.
Yes.
The ones who didn't pay for it just come.
Yeah, somebody else paid for it. They're like, they're not tripping too much, right? Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I see it time and time again. And this is what also something I learned with coaching. All we think about is the initial investment, right? We think about, okay, Chandra's Powerhouse Academy is $5,000 or her coaching is $10,000 to coach with her. And they're like, oh, they're just thinking about that initial investment. They're not thinking about the long-term benefit that $5,000 to $10,000 can bring you a multiple six-figure business strategy, right? You're going to learn how to build a business that's going to bring you long-time investment for years upon years to come. So that's how I approach coaching. That's how I approach my future right now is I'll drop $25,000 because I know I'm about to be a millionaire. I know this as a fact. And I'm going to bring all my clients right there with me. My clients, all of my clients that have my past, my present are all coming along with me, and they're going to get the blueprint. Once you're my client, you're always my client. So Lakiesha, you're amazing. Thank you for doing the work because I can't do what I'm doing unless you do it. Right? I can't come on here and talk about the great success of my clients unless you do the work. I don't take any credit for it. You have to do the work. I can give you all the information forever, but unless you take action, then it's not going to happen. So good job at doing that. Congratulations on all the success that is coming out.
Thank you so much.
Do you have anything else you want to say to the people?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna jump off of here without giving you, some type of shout out. Listen, as I stated before, what's unique about you, Chandra, and what people need to know about you is that, it's real easy to see somebody on social media and to assume that they are consumed with one thought and with one drive and with one determination because of who you are. But I really want to let everyone know that you are so dedicated to us. You are so dedicated to this powerhouse team. And it's not all about money. It's about taking other people to the next level. And that's the part that we get to see. That's the part that we get to talk about. So if there's like misconceptions or anything, I want to make it clear that I'm here where I'm at today, because if you were only driven by making me a rich woman, or by making yourself a rich woman, I wouldn't be successful. I would have had a cookie cutter type of program that wasn't significant to my needs. And that wasn't the case. My success is because I learned differently. And that was because it was catered to how I learned.
Yeah. And thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because I think people think they're going to come into some type of cookie cutter type of program, but I genuinely care about every person that is in my program, every woman. I want every woman to win. I think the more rich Black and brown women that we have, the better our country will be. And
I agree.
I'm going to continue this journey until I get as many women that can build successful businesses, because I'll just give you the blueprint all day. I'll share everything to help all of us get to that point to where we want to get to. So Lakiesha, tell people how they could find you.
So I'm on all social media. At Facebook, it's just Lakiesha McDonald. On my IG and my LinkedIn, it's Coach Lakiesha McDonald. On Twitter, it's Coach Lakiesha McDonald. LinkedIn is the same. And my website is lrmgrowthsolutions.com, which is under construction, but I actually got a text as I'm sitting here, and I will get the second draft of it by tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be up and running by this Friday, but you can still get on and just take a look.
Yeah, definitely. Find her. If you work at a community college in the workforce development department, she is available to come do workshops,
career services, CTE department.
Yeah, all of this is why the opportunities are limitless. There are limitless, so I tell, there's so much business out there for all of us. So we don't have to worry about competition. I just get excited. Let me calm down, because I know you have a meeting to go to, and we have to do this. Because I'll keep going and going about just everything that we're doing and the work that, that you're doing. So Lakiesha, again, thank you. I know you got to go run to a meeting. Thank you so much for doing this for me and sharing with the world about what you got going on. And thank you. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.